What if I told you that controlling your milk supply isn't just about increasing it? I just had a mom tell me that her supply completely crashed. She thought this is the end. But within days of learning the right approach, she was making more milk than she ever had before. Pop-up work meeting, back-to-back clients, long surgeries, your period returning, an unexpected loss, traveling. Your schedule can vary, and sometimes daily. I've helped hundreds of working moms find control in their pumping experience, and today I'm sharing with you how to become confident enough to handle these curveballs without you or your milk supply totally falling apart. By the end of this video, you'll understand our drop framework that helps you take control of your milk supply, how to adjust in real time when unexpected things happen, and why this step can only happen after you've mastered the first two steps, which are building and protecting your supply. Those were actually the first two videos in this 3-video mini series on milk supply. Okay, so if you haven't seen those yet, I'll put some links down below for you. Plus, I want to show you how to set realistic expectations and boundaries so you can thrive instead of just survive this unique experience. I've had clients who've learned to intentionally adjust their supply up when they needed more for a growth spurt or down when they're ready to wean. But more importantly, they can handle the unexpected. Just like my client Janet, who we did an interview with. If you want to watch the whole interview, I'll put the link down below for you as well. But she had to adjust her entire pumping schedule on the fly one day when work threw her some curveballs. She's a midwife, so she gets a lot of curveballs thrown at her, but she never missed a beat with her milk supply. She's actually still a client of ours, and she just hit 23 months of pumping. She's still going. She is absolutely incredible. Or Ashley, who went from giving mostly formula to giving exclusively breast milk in just 2 weeks. Or the mom who told me, I went from exhaustion and heartbreak to moments of pure bliss watching this baby grow with my blood, sweat, tears, and milk. Before we dive in, this is the third and final video in our milk supply mini-series covering how to build, protect, and control your milk supply. There's a link below to the full free workshop where we actually covered all of those topics more in depth. And it also includes information on what it looks like to work alongside me and my team of pumping experts in our high-touch coaching program. So you can really speed up the results that you get and guide you to become your own pumping expert. Control is more than just being able to increase your milk supply. It's being able to adjust as life adjusts, whether that's day to day or week to week. And one day you'll need less milk. One day you'll wean. Probably feels like a long day from today, but that's a difficult process too. You need to know how to move your supply up and down as needed. Like my client Shelly from earlier in this series, she moved her supply up too far and then intentionally brought it back down. And she actually did that a couple more times during her journey. This is not unrealistic or uncommon. It's a skill that I want you to have. If you have a bad pumping day or your schedule explodes at work or, I don't know, you forget a pumping part from your bag, I want you to know how to fix it and get back on track as quickly as possible. I want you to make intentional choices and adjust with your life by being proactive instead of reactive. That reactive mode, which is constantly putting out fires, dealing with the next dip in supply, the next problem, that's what causes moms the most stress. I want you to be proactive, thinking, I know that this meeting's coming up right at my pump time, or my period is starting next week, or my baby's in a growth spurt, etc. So here's how I'm going to adjust and handle that. That's the mindset I want for you. So I want to introduce you to our drop framework. This is how you can find control in your milk supply. All right, D is for daily mindset. I want you to look at your milk supply and schedules over 24 hours instead of individual pumping sessions. This is key to finding a sustainable plan that prevents panic about a single session. If you have a 3 p.m. pumping session where you get less than half of what you did in the morning, we need to look at the full 24-hour picture instead of fixating and panicking trying to fix that one session. Sometimes there's not actually a problem to fix, but the only way to know that is to step back and look at a bigger picture. R is for record. Data is king. If you don't know what's happening, you don't know where to adjust. And there's nothing more frustrating than just throwing spaghetti at the wall and guessing on what you need to do. I'm a little bit of a data nerd, so that's usually where we start when something isn't right. Even if it's just short-term tracking to figure out the problem so we know what to fix. I'm not saying you have to record every single thing, For a lot of moms, that stresses them out, and we don't want that either. But if we're just guessing, it makes things harder. I love looking at data from clients and helping them figure out where to adjust first. Where is the biggest ROI? The biggest return on investment, all right? What is the simplest thing we can solve that's going to give us the biggest impact, the biggest results? No guessing, real actionable steps. And we get that from looking at the data. O stands for optimize or omit, which is even better. This is actually my favorite part, simplifying clients' lives. And I love doing this in my daily life and business as well. Removing unnecessary variables, trying new things one at a time, and eliminating things that are just adding complexity or not necessary. If you're switching flange sizes every session, trying new supplements, new pumps, new locations, new schedules, it gets really complicated. And if something works, now you have to keep doing all of it because you don't know what's working. Seriously, my favorite thing to do with clients is to find out what you can stop doing. It's not about adding more. We're looking for what isn't making a significant difference and getting rid of it. Can we reduce your pumping sessions? Can we remove supplements? Can we make techniques easier for you to use? Can we reduce the amount of parts that you have to wash at work? You don't have space to do more than you need to do, especially when you have non-milk supply related things to handle too, right? Work smarter, not harder. It's not just a cute saying. You should actually be doing this. And P stands for patterns. Look for patterns weekly and monthly. All right, take a step back even further, right? We took a step back in the first step, but now we're going to go even further. Look at the bigger picture and understand what affects your unique milk supply the most. For example, is your supply lowest on Fridays? Maybe you're catching up on the weekends by feeding more at the breast and reducing stress, but then struggling to pump efficiently during the week. Now we know that efficient pumping and the pump might actually be the problem, right? A lot of times moms will look for feeding at the breast issues, especially if you're combo feeding in some kind of capacity. But knowing that your supply diminishes throughout the week and then catches up on the weekends will give you some good information on knowing where to start. Does your supply dip during your period? Right? If you're looking at a month's worth of data, you might notice that the third week every month, your supply is always a little bit lower. How can we get ahead of that? Maybe we plan lighter work schedules that week, or to add in some extra pumping sessions then, or when to start some helpful supplements, things like that. Do you notice that your output drops when you're stressed about a big presentation? Now stress affects you more than maybe it does others, so you can build in some buffer strategies. Understanding these patterns gives you the power to adjust proactively instead of scrambling to fix things after they've already gone wrong. It's the difference between knowing this always happens, here's my plan, versus why is this happening again? Part of finding control is identifying what success means to you. This is a great time to pause and really think about this. Is success 100% breast milk to you, ride or die? Is success giving as much breast milk as you can while still thriving at work? Is it breastfeeding when you're with the baby and getting as much as possible during your limited pumping sessions? Is it enjoying this phase of your life? Can you be okay with 50% breast milk, 50% formula, and still call this a success? Again, I can't answer these questions. These are for you. I also don't want you to have to settle on less than you want. But sometimes really looking at what would mean the most to me in this time of my life can really help you set some realistic expectations. Let me share what one of my clients said after going through our program along these same lines. She said, I did it. My little one turned 1 year yesterday. Started out at 35 weeks, 6 days, failure to thrive, 4 months of triple feeding, pediatrician telling me I should give up on breastfeeding, saying babies don't usually make it if they've lost this much weight. Ooh. I went from exhaustion and heartbreak to moments of pure bliss, watching my baby grow. With my blood, sweat, tears, and milk, I am so proud of myself. This little girl has not gone a day without some sort of breast milk. This is what it's all about, defining success for yourself and then having the tools to get there. Clarity leads to intention. Intention builds confidence. And confidence creates control. Another client told me the further I got into the curriculum, the more I understand what I'm doing wrong. Why is this a win? Because even with all of those wrong things, I'm still mostly meeting my goals. Now I have a better understanding of what's most important to fix first, and I'm so relieved to finally feel like I have answers, a roadmap to get there, and things prioritized so I can actually manage those fixes. Common mistakes I see when we're trying to control our milk supply is trying to control things that you actually have no control over. Maybe you've had a rough start to breastfeeding and milk production, and 100% breast milk may never be in the cards for you, depending on how rough it was and how long that happened and how your body responds. Sometimes that happens. But what can you control? Could success mean knowing that you've tried everything possible, that you did everything you could, that money didn't hold you back, that you found expert help, that you did the work? Even if you didn't get 100% breast milk, could you walk away knowing I did everything I could with the situation that I was given? That can feel really good too. That can be success as well. Again, I never want you to have to settle for less than what you want. You deserve help and you deserve answers and you deserve some control. We did 2 really powerful exercises in our 1-hour workshop that we did in kind of focusing in this area. The first one being finding things that are inside and outside of your control right now. Then we walked through how to find areas in the out of control section. Actually, you might have some control in. So maybe your breast anatomy is not ideal for pumping and it's kind of out of your control. But finding the right tools or accessories or techniques is in your control. Maybe your partner or work isn't very supportive, but you can find people that are in your corner and lean on them, or find workarounds to make the situation more bearable and sustainable for you. Another client of ours who has seen amazing improvements in both her milk supply and her joy in her overall experience after working with us shared, it's hard because you have to be really diligent and dedicated, but then you also have to give yourself grace and relax and let yourself have other things too. You don't get another try. It's not like I can go back 6 months and see if doing it differently would have been better. You don't get 2 chances at anything in life, really. But I'm grateful for how my life is right now. And my husband even said, this is why you're successful. And I know this program has been so worth it. This really is a one-shot experience, and I want it to be the best it can for you. That's why I like working so closely with clients and working moms. The second exercise we did in that workshop was focused on an honest self-assessment. Again, going back to our love of data and knowing where to start first. I walked you through each of the 24 areas that you need to master so you can pump fast and efficiently and find that control that we're talking about. I encourage you to watch the workshop and download the workbook that goes along with it. It will help you identify the areas you need to start working on right now, the things that you can start researching and gathering information on and implementing today. You might be surprised what you find. Many of the moms who joined us live in that workshop were surprised at how many areas they needed help on. A lot of them didn't know what they didn't know, which is a common thing that I see as well. So that was a really helpful exercise as well. True control over your milk supply means being confident enough to adjust it in real time when life happens and focusing on what you can actually control. It means setting realistic expectations and boundaries so you can thrive, not just survive. Here's the thing, you can't have control without the other steps first. If you don't know how to build a supply or pump efficiently, trying to control your milk supply is like trying to steer a car that won't start. Pumping is so much more of an art than a science. For example, I had a client who had only been with us a couple days. She'd been going through our curriculum and she was already seeing big results. I asked her about it and she said it was really about getting those second letdowns. She said, I didn't even know that was a thing. I would just put the pump on, press the button, and take it off 20 minutes later. The idea of paying attention and being engaged in the pumping process was not something I ever did before, but man, it makes a difference. A month and a half later, she was making more than she ever had and was able to freeze so much extra that even after weaning, they still had months of breast milk left, which aligned really well with her long-term goals. Nothing in life is all or nothing, and this is especially true in motherhood. We do what we can, and we leave behind what we can't. We try to make the best of the situation that we're given. Perfection is impossible, so don't even try. But less than 100% does not equal failure. If you're feeling overwhelmed by everything we've covered in this series, or if you're realizing that you need help with those foundational steps first, I want to invite you to book a call with my team. We can't help everyone. This program is specifically for working moms who are serious about mastering their milk supply. But if you're ready for personalized guidance and a step-by-step plan that's tailored to your unique situation, let's talk. The application link is in the description. You'll chat with a member of my team who can help you determine if our program is a right fit for you or point you in another direction if it's not. And if you want to see all 3 of these steps in much more detail, I did a complete workshop covering this entire framework. It's free and it's linked below down in the description. Your worth is not measured in ounces, but your goals matter too. If giving breast milk is important to you, don't give up without getting the right help. Good luck and happy pumping.